Welcome back to my channel, my beautiful ladies. And if you are new here, thank you for stopping by. You have stopped on the most awesome channel on YouTube, a South African channel, as you can hear by my accent, a channel that deals with a wide variety of topics. But one of my favorites is the topic today, menopause and perimenopause, because I am going through perimenopause and I'm a natural born researcher. I'm a nerd. I want to know everything about everything. I'm the type of person who always asks why. And so in today's video, I'm going to ask the question, is menopause natural? Now, of course, a lot of you, and I get the question, will be asking, why should we even replace hormones? Why even do hormone replacement therapy? Because, menopause is natural. We're all going to go through it. It's part of life. So why would we tinker with Mother Nature and put back hormones that we are meant to lose? So in today's video, let's talk about this topic. It's a question that my mother asked me because I was talking to her about going back onto HRT because she, sorry, Mom, if I'm giving away personal details, but she is using vaginal estrogen because her genitourinary tract is shriveling, shrinking, and of course, without it, she suffers leaking and loss of bladder control, which happens to every woman after menopause because of lack of estrogen. So now the question is, she's using vaginal estrogen so that she can have a normal bladder function because everything there shrivels and shrinks. And of course, your urethra and bladder are right there by everything down there. But now, is it natural to be putting estrogen in your vagina? I ask you with tears in my eyes, because if you're doing that, why not just use estrogen that travels throughout your whole body? So that's where the glitch in the thinking is for me. Now, some women may say, okay, menopause is natural. I'm not even going to use vaginal estrogen, but then they will suffer shrinkage, drying up down there. Your whole vagina shrinks. I saw a doctor say on YouTube, to the size of a little baby pinky, when it is meant to be, when we're reproductive, when it's meant to be this big, full body part. So is that natural? Well, you could say maybe, and if you believe that, then fine. But to my way of thinking, asking whether menopause is natural or not in terms of because you don't want to take hormones or you do or whatever, it's almost a moot point. Who cares if it's natural? So many things are natural, not natural. I have low functioning thyroid. So is that natural for me? Should I just not take my thyroid medication? If I'm going to go with Mother Nature in me is stopping my thyroid hormone production for some reason. And I'm fit and healthy. I've done everything by the book to be healthy. So I should have a high functioning thyroid, but I don't. So is that natural? What about people who are born type 1 diabetics? Well, it's natural. So, they were born that way. It's Mother Nature's plan for them. Must they not take insulin? You see, so for me, menopause, yes, it's natural in that every woman will go through it. I understand, and I do understand the question. So I don't mean to get all smart and smarmy, but the question shouldn't be whether it's natural or not. The question should be for you to discover, decide, research for yourself whether HRT, hormone replacement therapy, offers you any benefits or not. So to me, that is the better question to be asking. Do I, for my body, my needs, any diseases that I'm worried about, should I replace the hormones that are now lost at menopause? That should be the question, not is menopause natural or not. Yes, it's natural because we're all going to go through it, but there's so many things that are natural, ladies, that we fight against. Wrinkles are not something we want. It's something I see almost every woman fight against. Look, until she reaches the point of acceptance. But women are doing Botox. That's not natural. Women are doing fillers. That's not natural. Facelifts, not natural. We're dyeing our gray hairs, most of us, not all of us. That's not natural. so many things are not natural. Tea and coffee, we have to process it. That's not natural. Yes, it comes from plant, but I mean, you wouldn't just get it like that off the tree. So much about life and modern lifestyles is not natural. In fact, every and any medication and disease prevention measure is not natural. But we do it. I mean, do we just leave cancer patients? We say, oh, well, your body caused cancer. It must be nature's plan. It's Mother Nature said you've got to die now or you've got to suffer with cancer. So let's just leave you and not treat it. No. And I mean, cancer treatment is not natural, but it doesn't make sense to not use treatments that are available, in my mind at least. This is how I'm thinking about it. And so for me personally, estrogen replacement therapy or hormone replacement therapy, if you want to use progesterone as well, heck, if you want to replace testosterone, if your testosterone is low, which a lot of ladies do have, these things, it's not natural, but in a way, the hormone replacement therapy is the most natural thing you can do, to my mind, because it's a hormone your body does produce. All of these hormones, progesterone, estrogen, estradiol, let's talk about it clearly. Estradiol is the one we want to replace at menopause, not estrone, not estriol, although these are other estrogens that our bodies produce. The one we lose, the one that is the key to feeling better and to preventing diseases is estradiol. And testosterone and all these other hormones. So our bodies produce them. Like my body probably used to produce far more thyroid hormone. It now on its own produces very little. So I'm taking thyroid hormone. Is it natural or not? I don't know. I don't care. But I don't want to suffer the consequences of low thyroid. I don't want to be ill, feeling cold, feeling exhausted, feeling fatigued. And the same goes for menopause. My body is no longer producing estrogen. And so I'm feeling fatigued, I'm feeling depressed, I'm feeling joint aches and pains, vaginal dryness, all the things that go along with low estrogen. And I now have a therapy, thank you to modern medicine. This is how I see it, thank you, that we can now produce estradiol. And we can even produce something called bioidentical estradiol, which mimics, it looks exactly the same as what our body used to produce. So we have that available. Why not take it? I know there's the scare of cancers. That is something you would have to research on your own. Again, I always encourage every woman, please, 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 do your own research, do your own reading. From all the reading and the research that I have done, and I am a Class A nerd. I finished at the top of my school in matric. So I am that person who wants to know everything before I go and do something that could be harmful. I'm pretty convinced that the benefits of taking estrogen do outweigh the risks, and it seems that there is no proven link to estrogen causing breast cancer. But look, I'm not a doctor, I'm not a clinician. Don't take my word for it, you better do your own research. However, in answering the question, is estrogen replacement therapy natural or not? It is a very natural therapy. So is menopause natural or not? I don't know. I don't know what Mother Nature's plan was. Some people say, well, we were meant to die at the ages of 40 and 50. In the 1800s, 1900s, you can Google the stuff. We didn't live as long as we do today. So there's a theory that, well, women are now outliving their ovaries and they never used to. So menopause wasn't natural. Who knows? I don't know. I don't know what the grand plan is. I don't actually care. I don't care what Mother Nature's plan is. I don't care whether it's natural or not natural. I want to know what is my best health outcome. And so for me, from everything I've read and researched, estrogen replacement therapy is actually the most natural thing I can do to preserve my bones. So it really does help in preventing osteoporosis. You lose 2% of your bone when you lose your estrogen, and then that does slow down to 1% a year, I think, after the first 5 years. But you continue to lose bone for the rest of your life after you become menopausal. Now, if you want to say that that's natural, be my guest. It's natural. But I would like to not lose my bone. I would like to prevent osteoporosis. And the number one way we can do that is to replace our estrogen. In terms of heart attacks, estrogen in a female keeps our arterial walls supple. It also helps our HDL, the good fluffy big kind of cholesterol, to be high, and it lowers the LDL. It's good for our lipids. It's also one of the main things that has been proven to prevent Alzheimer's disease. Loss of estrogen shrinks our brains, ladies. Did you know that? That's scary. Now, if all that is natural and you want to follow the natural way, that's fine. That really is fine. I'm not here to tell anyone what to do. I just think we need to reconsider the question and ask it in a cleverer way, not to do with Mother Nature, because then we may as well do no interventions whatsoever and just eat what we can pick and fish and hunt and farm. And you know what I mean? I think we are so far removed from nature as humans now that the better question to ask is, what is optimal? Not what is natural, but what is optimal? What is the least risky thing you can do? Now, I would say, just based on everything I've read, and I'm a health nut, I research everything, statins are way more dangerous to prevent a heart attack. Bisphosphonates are not good at helping you prevent osteoporosis, and they have a whole lot of yucky side effects. And in terms of Alzheimer's, there is nothing else that we can do. And women suffer Alzheimer's far more than men. I think it's 4 women to every 1 man. And that's because we lose our estrogen. Now, I'm not saying every woman is going to get Alzheimer's. There's other factors involved. There is using your brain, there is lifestyle, there is how much brain tissue you actually have to lose to start with. And you might live long enough where you don't even see any signs and symptoms. But I would rather do what I can to prevent any of that, to help myself. And for me, HRT, replacing estrogen, makes the most sense, and it's the most natural because it's something from our bodies. I know that the replacement estrogen can be synthetic, made in a lab. It can be bioidentical, still synthetic because it's made in a lab. It's not being produced by my own body. It's the closest thing, though. So to me, that is the most natural, instead of some drug that has nothing to do with what my body ever made. So I just wanted to share my thoughts on, is menopause natural? I know menopause is not a disease per se, but it's not a disease, but it leads to diseases. Just like low thyroid, which I have. It's not a disease per se, but it can lead to disease outcomes. Same with insulin deficiency, same with so many things. And in people who no longer make a certain hormone, the standard medical practice is to replace the missing or lost hormone. So for me, it makes sense to replace estrogen and progesterone if you still have your uterus. And yeah, I think that is a pretty natural route in terms of medical interventions. But heck, I am not all about the natural. Look at me. I've had a nose job. I've had a boob job. I dye my hair. Occasionally, I have done Botox in the past. I've stopped now, but I mean, you know, I'm not against using things that modern medicine and science has developed. If there is something that will help me, I for sure want to use it. I hope that just helps you shed a new perspective on the question of, is menopause natural? Please give me a thumbs up if you like this topic. If you are new here, please consider subscribing. I've got lots of good content. And thank you for watching. I will see you in my next video. Bye, you beautiful ladies, from your friend Louise on the internet. Bye. And that's it for today's video. So if you enjoyed this topic, please give me a thumbs up. Subscribe if you would. Hit the notification bell. All those good things. The support really does help my channel grow. And if you don't do it, this snake is coming to bite you.